let's make a painting. And let's see, man. I didn't paint for like 2 days. And I think it's time to come back to reality and start doing something. Let's go. Let's go and see what we can create today. Is that center? Yes, it is. All right, so we're gonna put a lot of water around the paper so we can make sure everything is stick together and not moving around. Let's see. This. What is this, man? We're gonna take this color, and that's green brown, I guess. So let's go with that. One thing I like in all this stuff is just the freedom and to be spontaneous. We're gonna take paint with a big brush and try to make some kind of clouds. And if you keep it up with my videos, I do a lot of clouds lately, so I see no reason to change that. I mean, I like clouds anyway, so it's not a big deal. We're gonna use one color. We're gonna try to make these clouds more believable. I'm not sure, should they be more fluffy or more like broke down? There we go. One beautiful thing about clouds is you cannot mess it up. This is like when you're hungry and you start eating. You can mess it up. I mean, you're just eating and that's it. And the clouds are amazing because they're so abstract. You can't really like do anything wrong with them. As long as you keep going, actually, because they're like moving all the time. Now we're going to take a little bit of black. And the whole idea is to make something darker on the ground. Clean the brush just a bit. We don't want that brush to be very dirty for the next part, and that's gonna be some kind of goldish green. And with that, we're gonna make the second layer over here and try to go around these clouds, of course, not destroying them, right? We try to do that. There we go. Very transparent. Usually, I come originally from oil paintings, and with oil paintings, if you're familiar, it's more like layers over layers over layers, and the whole process is way more paint and more heavy colors. And when I say heavy colors, I really mean like more, like physically more paint on the canvas. Watercolor is more transparent, more loose. Now, of course, I still implement some of that oil techniques in the watercolor, but I try to stay away from it on purpose. I try to change a little bit, but it's very hard, man. Which was remind me, actually, it's very hard to change yourself. Even if you say you're gonna change yourself, and man, you think you change yourself, and in reality you don't. Because if you want to change yourself, at least in my perspective and my understanding is, if I want to change myself, that means I'm admitting I do something wrong. You admit you did something wrong. Something you're not happy with it, and you're not satisfied with it, and that means you're in the wrong direction. So if you want to change, you're already admitting, hey, I'm doing something that I don't like. I'm not pretty happy with it. And that's confronting yourself can be quite, boy, I don't want to say dangerous, but it can be hard because self-judgment is a hard thing because you cannot see yourself on the side. I don't know if that's happened to you before, but it's more easy to see other people's mistakes than look up to yourself and say, oh, right, I'm doing that wrong, and maybe I should change this and that. And it's not how it's working. In your mind, you're doing everything correct. And when people tell you what you do wrong, usually people get very offended and defensive, and instead of like ask yourself, is this person right or not? Get the right to tell me this. But anyway, we're doing clouds. This is the tedious part. Which one I enjoy so much, by the way. This thing is, I can do that forever. This thing is so tedious. It's ridiculous. But I love it, man. I love this this part. You're just playing with the clouds, and you can waste your time in this. You know, some people go and drink and take drugs and stuff like that. It's like, I make clouds, man. You make a bunch of clouds, and by the time you make all these clouds, it's like already your time is gone. So it's a good escape activity, I guess. But yeah, changing stuff by yourself, hard thing, man, hard thing. But let's try to do that. And of course here, let's make this buddy fluffy. Here we're gonna start taking part of this paint and actually expand the cloud and just making more and more and more. Now, I guess you pay attention already that I didn't clean my brush this time, and this is because I wanna move it around and just keep going. So that's gonna give me that very thin layer of clouds, and they're like blending on the background. You know, you can barely see them, like a very heavy clouds. Now this is fine, this is fine. Now, of course, the time has come to think about what we're going to do in the foreground, because this is kind of developed. The foreground is depend what we want to do. What we want to do is taking black with the big brush, the big boy. Almost dry, and oops, way too dry. Let's try again. That's better. And what we want to do is creating higher contrast between the ground and the sky. Now, of course, I'm going to try not to make it way too dark, because we tried to stay away from that. I think I already did it, but I will pretend I didn't. So it's like not there. You know how it's like another thing, people doesn't talk about problems, and if I don't talk about it, it's not existing. No, it's here, it's staying here, but we try. Put in a lot of gold green actually here. Tall grass, one of my other favorite things. There we go. Of course, take the thin brush, a little bit of black. Why not a little bit of the color that we use for the sky? There we go. It's not a bad idea. Making some tall grass here. Very simple thing, actually. Tall grass is very simple. You know what? We can make it like a pond or something like that. Why are we using this? Well, simply because it's the foreground and we need something on the foreground. We're gonna add some shadows, of course. Now we're gonna take some of the bluey. And when I say some of the blue, is whatever is left here, man. It's like, I used to keep everything it's still organized, but it's everything kind of clean-ish, and I found out there's no reason to do this. I'm wasting so much paint. And why would you lose so much paint? It's like, no idea. You should be appreciative and more, saving more money by doing so. Not only money, but it's like not wasting. Some people doesn't have money to. I used to not have money to afford any paint or anything. So you should be more mindful, I guess. What are you using? How are you using? What we did here is remove some of the paint so we can make space for the bluey. And now, of course, we're gonna remove again. And this is gonna be our bright part. So we're gonna have light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, dark, light, dark. So it's kind of some kind of pattern going on. Here, of course, we're gonna blend everything. And the reason we blend in everything is because we're gonna put the final touch, and that's gonna be some red lines. And why red lines? Because they're gonna bring some life inside of the whole thing. Now, I was thinking originally to make a red flowers like usually I do when I make a tall grass. It started like nudging me, I guess, to make red flowers. But this time we're just gonna go and make I guess, red grass. Some details. I don't want, it's look a little bit too much like a realism. Well, it's not too much, but it's nothing to do with realism. But it started looking like realistic. I start going that way. I don't wanna do this. If I gotta be honest. So we're gonna try to stay away from that. Now, this part, because we have some water, I would love to have some kind of light shining through this, and we can put some stuff here. One thing for sure, and that's probably gonna be the last thing I'm gonna do here, is adding some light going down. Maybe some orange. Let me see. Yeah, that's fine. There you go. I could put a baby rock here, but that's good enough. And there we go. Watercolor, abstract, landscape.